agree that assessment should be on the big picture costs, but is it not true that hydrogen is low cost, especially in Europe?
Well, yeah. I mean, is I can't just. My impression is that the cost of hydrogen, and it depends which hydrogen we are talking about here. Not sure the question is specific here, but when we look at the dynamics of hydrogen, we also see those dynamics changing. I mentioned earlier an important dimension, which was the shrinking cost of renewables, and that tendency is expected to continue to a certain degree in the future. I also talked about the potential the foreseen reduction in costs for electrolyzer technologies. This is a trend very well highlighted by my colleague of Green Hydrogen System. Definitely, this technology will further improve, and it's clear that a target set at EU level will ensure that we deploy more electrolysers on the ground, and that will de facto bring the scale needed in the manufacturing, in the cost reduction, in the economies of scale. What is very interesting to look at the moment is the dynamics of energy prices. I think the recent gas crisis is very much of a warning for investors looking into hydrogen today. This is clearly changing the dynamics of costs. I mentioned that the key challenge was cost. It remains to be the case. We will have to see how the cost of gas will evolve over time. But end of last year, in November, and the months around that, the cost of producing renewable hydrogen compared to blue hydrogen was cheaper for the very first time, because of the inherent reality of blue hydrogen. The main cost factor is the cost of natural gas. And this is a very interesting development. No one had foreseen this. I think when you are an investor and try to secure competitiveness, and try to reduce volatility in energy prices and make sure you don't bear any unforeseen cost, you will have realized that one thing was clear in the crisis of COVID and the gas crisis: renewable electricity was the source that remained stable. And that's very important if I am an economic operator having to make a 100 million investment in an energy source or a feedstock for the 20 or 30 years ahead. And that's why I think this element of cost, whether only on the energy, on the hydrogen side, or the broader picture in the full total cost of the product, is and will continue to be important, especially in a context of global competition.